Okay, we want to make sure that we can solve the system of equations, which means to find the values, ordered pairs that would work in this equation and also in this equation. The graphs of these are a little strange, just so you know what the graphs are going to look like to get an idea. Let me go back here. If I were to graph these, basically what will happen is the two graphs, one of them will be like this, and then the other one's going to be a line with something like this. So I want to figure out what those ordered pairs are, where they cross, something like that. So we're going to do this algebraically, not graphically, because the graphing calculator can't graph this function, this thing here, because it's not a function, because of y squared. So we're going to go through the process. So basically what we do first is we're going to solve for x here. So I'm going to add 2y to both sides. So I have x equals 2y plus 7. So at this point, 2y plus 7 is exactly the same thing as x. That's what equals mean. These are the same thing. So this is the same thing as this. So when I see an x, which I see right here, I'm going to replace the x with 2y plus 7. So I'm going to go back to the original equation. I see an x right there. Instead of writing x, I'm going to put parentheses 2y plus 7, and then squared, minus 2y squared equals 33. So what I've done is 23. Let me get this right. 23. What I've done is copied this equation down. I just replaced the x with something that was equal to x. So now I have to go through the FOIL part for this. So over here I'm going to say 2y plus 7 times 2y plus 7 and figure out what that equals. 2y times 2y, that's 4y squared. 2y times 7 is plus 14y. 7 times 2y is plus another 14y. And then 7 times 7 is plus 49. So that becomes 4y squared plus 28y plus 49. So that's what this whole thing here is. So I'm going to change colors a little bit. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to say 4y squared plus 28y plus 49 minus 2y squared equals 23. And what I've done now is basically just multiplied those together, FOIL, and did this. Now I'm going to combine like terms. And now I'm going to say this and this can be combined together to be 2y squared plus 28y plus 49 equals 23. I want to get quadratic equation. I want to set the right side equal to 0, so I'm going to subtract 23. So I got 2y squared plus 28y. And this is going to be plus 26, is that right? Plus 26 equals 0. And I want to solve this. Now, solving a quadratic, there's many ways that we've learned to do this. One of the ways was to use quadratic formula. We can do completing the square. I'm going to say the best way might be to see if we can factor. But first, I want to, if these are all even, if I divide everything by 2, I divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2. Technically over here I divide by 2. Come on. Divide by 2. That's a 2. I get y squared plus 14y plus 13 equals 0. So this is nice because I can factor this. I've got to stop doing that. Equals 0. Let me bring this up a little bit. Okay, extend page maybe, there we go. So this becomes y plus 13 times y plus 1 equals 0. Two things are multiplied to equal 0, so either y plus 13 equals 0, in which case y equals 13, negative 13, or y plus 1 equals 0, in which case y equals negative 1. So those are my y. I have two possible y values. I want to find out the x values now, so I'm going to go back to the top and look at that and say what's there's my equation. I can plug in the y values into either one of these equations. Let's plug it into this one right here. Usually you can plug it into either one. I'm going to plug it into this one because it's a little bit more appropriate, easier to work with, I guess. So we got a y value equal to negative 13. So that would be, I'll do that over here. Let's change the colors a little bit so we can see what we're doing. Okay, that's going to be x minus 2 times negative 13 equals 7. So x plus 26 equals 7. Subtract 26 from both sides. So I got x equals negative 19. So one solution will be negative 19, comma, negative 13. So that will be one solution to this equation. I'll get a different color for the next one. Let's change the colors to something a little, let's go here with, I don't know, lavender. So up here, when x equals negative 1, this over here was when, excuse me, y equals negative 1. When y equals negative 1, because down here we solved for y to be negative 1, I can plug that into here, and I'm going to say x minus 2 times negative 1 equals 7. X plus 2 equals 7. Subtract 2 from both sides. X equals 5. So 5 comma negative 1 would be the other solution. So we have two solutions to this equation. That's that. Now I can check to see if that works. It's going to be kind of a mess, but that's basically what we get. Yeah. So that's this is the method to do the solutions. We solve for the variable in one of them, plug this whole thing back in for the variable we solve for, and then solve. And then that's it. Okay.